I'm back here again. Good afternoon. Good evening. Um, I think the conversation I had yesterday, a number of people responded outside of the platform, and it got me thinking about some other thoughts I've had before now, which is that the Nigeria has a way out. Most times when we discuss Nigeria, there's a tendency to start thinking that there is no way out because we suffer from analysis paralysis, where we keep analyzing the problem, we keep arriving at the point where we think, well, let God just take control. And we know that God alone will not take control because He has given us the capacity to do something about our situation. A number of us who have a role to play or roles to play are not playing those roles, and that's why we are where we are. So if you see the title scrolling up on the in the post, it just summarizes what I think, where I think the solution lies. Many of the people in Nigeria are adherents of one religion or the other, and there's a huge religious crowd that determines a lot of things. When we say Nigeria, the problem of Nigeria is squarely that of leadership. Like I said yesterday, we tend to think that that leadership has to be those who are holding public offices. And I don't think that's where the leadership problem really lies, because the problematic leaders we've had not only came from within the society, they also are kept in place by the people in that society, in our country. People just go to our leaders, with public office holders, and ask them for things that worry them. So you are going to a leader or an office holder, and you're asking for money to pay your school fees or to eat food or to marry another wife, things like that. Then he doesn't hear from you that this road is bad, this clinic is really bad, which is going to serve everybody. So what we present to them as our priority is what they respond to us with. And in that case, we can see exactly why, therefore, the leaders would behave in the way they do. But you can also understand why Nigerians behave the way they do, because whenever the people get into power, they neglect the people. So, understanding both sides, knowing that there are desperate people on the two sides who are hungry, I see those who are more or less comfortable are the people in the middle class, are the traditional rulers. They are not hungry for food. They are not hungry exactly for political power. They are in their places of comfort. And people come to consult them for political and other decisions. They are the ones who, if they do not collect 100,000 naira today or 50,000 naira today, they're not going to go hungry. Therefore, it is the task for us is how to get these people to become politically aware and conscious and take their roles seriously. There is no governor, no president that is not going to an imam, to a babalao or a pastor to get them to pray for them or to get to sway them in order that they should sway their adherents in a certain direction. What do those religious leaders tell the public office holders who come to them for prayers, who come to them for counseling? What do they tell them? If you go to most of the churches that are holding large congregations, millions of people, these public office holders come to them for prayers. They come for their conventions, annual conferences. And in fact, you see some governors that are adherents of these religious offices or religious beliefs. They come there, they roll on the floor, they are given blessings, they are told that they are forgiven. What do these religious leaders tell these people, either in private or in public? Because what we see in public is that the governors who we know, our House of Reps members or senators who we know are involved in scandalous practices, spending government resources that are supposed to be used for people, spending them for their own private purposes. These people are given a lot of respect, a place of pride or places of pride within the religious spaces. So I think that if these religious leaders play their roles right, there is something that can change within Nigeria. It doesn't have to be immediate. We shouldn't expect the change to happen immediately. But the fact that whenever they come for advice, religious leaders are saying things that are in the interest of the people, then we can start seeing the change. I know a lot of NGOs and development projects are working in this direction. I know that my concern, of course, with those projects is that they are done as projects, and in those projects, when after those projects, if there's no resources, there's no resource for it, then the projects tend to fade off and the effects almost die. There's a serious lack of transparency within the religious space, whether traditional religion, whether the religions that have been imported into the country, because those places are not transparent. There is also that tendency for them not to be able to speak so much about transparency and accountability to the people that are their adherents. And I think that it is because of that that they are unable to say the right things that we expect. We're not talking about confrontation. At least that's not what I am advocating. But if you, pastor, imam, traditional priests, if you are seeing the public suffering and someone whose official salary is not supposed to be more than, say, 2 million naira, he's coming to donate a church or a mosque or something worth 100 million. What are you saying to that person? Is it your greed that is allowing you take tithes of 100 million from a public office holder? You have to be clear about that. So that is why these are key people in the transformation of Nigeria. The other people that I talk about is the general middle class. I've lumped them in the middle class category where I belong, where most of you watching, participating in this right now, most of you, that's where you belong. You are the ones, me and you, we are the ones who are eagerly trying to get our share of the national cake, who are the directors in the ministries where people are shortchanging the people. You are the ones who could have put a road that is supposed to be constructed in the budget, but you do not put it. You are the ones who even sometimes advise the politicians who come that this is actually how we do it. This is how we take the money, and this is how we save yours for you. This is how we create the shell companies, and this is the tax haven where we store money for the public office holders before you. You are the ones who guide them, because you are also going to get you're also going to get a share of it to survive on. Now, like I said, it's you and I. We are all the ones responsible for this. But even in our enlightened self-interest, look at many places, the places where you stay, you, the middle class person, the places where you live, there are no good roads. The monies you get, you are the ones to buy your own generators, you are the ones to get your own water purification system, get your private security, or contribute to a vigilante arrangement for security. There is nothing working for you from the same government you participate in, from your access to these big people. I wonder why those of us in the middle class cannot become politically aggregated enough to create the change within the system. And that's the assignment before us. The assignment before us is that even for our enlightened self-interest, we should be able to ask for, not even really ask, we should be able to put our own interests, our collective interests actually, within the budgets and within the system. Why would billions be budgeted for projects and those billions are just literally stolen, yet the projects which will benefit you and I, because you are the ones, and we are the ones who stay within the country, we are the ones who don't have another citizenship, we are the ones who, for us, this country is our only country. Why is it that we do not ensure that those things work while the political office holders make their monies from them? This blatant stealing can stop. This stealing without delivering services can stop. You travel to countries outside and you can see the kind of capitalism that is being practiced, where the elite share services to each other and make sure they deliver on those services while making money from the people. It is not a model that is very fair, but at least where we say things work, they are not even working simply because the elite have sacrificed themselves. What they do, and what I have been wondering why we're not doing, why don't our elite share the roads in Nigeria to themselves and say, okay, we've stolen enough money. Let us contract, we will concede this road. You build and you put a toll gate on it, and you toll it for a certain number of years, and either it reverts back to the government. So we're able to even, you guys are able to even clean out your money, the ill-gotten money. It becomes legitimate. How is it going to be possible that you say the Calabar Road, the Owerri Road, the Ninth Mile Road, instead of giving it to a Chinese company, you give it to a Nigerian construction company? We are paying you no dime. You are going to recoup your money from the toll on the road. Then you make sure that road works. And when that road works, Nigerians benefit. When that road works, you'll be employing people to make sure the road works. So we'll create employment and then create wealth. Right now, because of the nature of how the theft operates within the country, the monies are stored abroad. They are stored in Dubai. People have mansions in Dubai, mansions in the United Kingdom, which is the haven for all stolen monies. We have all these situations where the monies are not working for you. They are not working for Nigerians. And essentially, they're just working for foreign governments. Monies are stolen from here, taken outside of the country, and then it just works for the foreign governments. We in the middle class need to think differently. That's why the protests that are ongoing, they are important. They are important landmarks because, yes, Nigerians are waking up. But Nigerians, after the protests, the right questions and the right diagnosis needs to happen. If the protests only lead us to the conclusion that one set of people are bad and another set of people are good, there is not going to be any significant change, because those who are supposed to be bad are going to stand hardline in their positions, trying to defend their own positions. And then those who are supposedly good are going to stand there, and they will have no resources, and they don't have the instruments of coercion, the military, the police, the judiciary, and all of that to whip everybody in line. As has been said before, you see how the decision on changing the national anthem was taken. Rapidly, that decision was taken and everything changed overnight. As it is right now, the elite who own the National Assembly, who own the legislative authority, who own the judiciary, they are the ones who overnight can make laws that will change every system. What is our response to this? I saw yesterday on WhatsApp that a new law is in the making about protests, a protest act. What is going to be our response, even as a middle class and as religious leaders, traditional leaders? I leave you with these pointers, and I do hope that we are going to do a lot. I look forward to hearing your comments on these thoughts. They are not easy thoughts to go with, but I want to hear what you think about how the religious and traditional rulers, as well as the middle class, can cause a change in Nigeria. Thank you for staying with me. In a few, we'll look forward to interacting in the comment section, and then tell me what you want me to talk about tomorrow.